iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiskiTimes.co.za. It's almost midnight. Ahly 2, Mamelodi Sundowns 2. However, no regrets really. That was a quality game of football. That was a quality game of football. That is why you watch football. That is satisfying, super satisfying to see top class teams on the African continent going toe to toe, answers and questions. As always, Tso Vilakazi, questions and answers. The other one throwing a punch and the other one absorbing it and throwing their own punch as well. That's quality. That's what we all ask for. Nothing much. We don't ask anything in life other than quality, and that's what we got today. So, your thoughts on the game, sir?
Mr. Ngio, you know now, ulala kamnandi.
Yes, sir.
When you spend your time watching football, this is what we want to watch.
Yes, sir.
Two very, very good teams in Africa. Beautiful football, tactics on point. You know, the changes that they're doing, you can see why they're making this change. The other one is making a change. Would know, let me hold on. You know, that's what Sundowns they did. You know, let me just hold on because they are coming, they're playing home. They're putting more pressure on us, we're playing away. It's 2-2. Why should we force things? You know, and Mr. Ngio, that's a high level of football in Africa. And watching Umukwena, meaning Urulana Mukwena, responding to the questions that Ahly was giving to him. Well done, coach. It's not easy. Some coaches, they don't even see those questions. You'll always see them writing. Oh, I was no paragraph, story, and you don't know. But he's always writing by a pala. I was good to him, but for him, he could, you know, read the game, you know, see the questions, come with answers, and it worked well for him.
Yeah, there was a penalty. Ahly, by the time it was halftime, when we were shooting our halftime videos, it was 1-0. So kudos to them, number one, because the question was, Sundowns are 1-0 away from home. This is your second game in the Champions League. Ahly, you have 0 points, and they responded. They scored 2 unanswered goals. Before Sundowns now also responded as well. Beautiful to see that.
Mr. Ngio, you know, when you see such things, firstly, penalty, well done, Rowan. He's going to save it, and why save? Could save with penalty. And mind you, for them to get that first goal, it was after Umailula and Umayema, they've missed a chance where they're supposed to score. Immediately after that ball, then that's when they got a goal. And it tells you, when you get a chance, punish. Because if you don't punish, don't punish you. That's top class football. That's how it should be in football that we watch. But unfortunately, we don't get that. And you know, the response from again, look at that ball. Mailule, first goal, cross pass, finish. Look at the second goal. You know, he uses right foot, and he's a left-footed player. He uses right foot and hit in the upright. The rebound, Umrena, wow. You know, Umrena, if it was the Umrena, it was not going to be a goal. You know, it tells you the experience when you grow. You know, you are young shopper, you're 10, you've earned it. And look at Lapanu Vilo tell him, I'm a second, I know what, another touch, defender Lala pants, and then good finish. Well done, Morena. Yeah,
they always say you don't know what you've got until it's gone. Yeah. At some point, Mkhulisa is there. Yeah. You don't see much, yeah, but it's there. What he does is, if Mukwena wins it, he passes it to Mkhulisa. Yes. What Mkhulisa does is to transport that ball forward, without the need of your defensive midfielder to go forward and commit. Yeah. When he wasn't there, it became clear that it's not there. And they reshuffled, they put Umayema. Yeah. And then they realized they made a mistake again. They needed to put Uzungu because they needed an additional midfielder.
You know, that boy, I always say, that's my favorite player. I call him Shafi because that role, he mastered that role. He mastered that role. Because you could see Upuma Wakeguti, Sundowns started to shake now in the midfield. They were not balanced. No one's controlling that midfield. Now there's no balls that are going forward. No one is linking between the Numkwena midfielders and attacking. Ulunduzana was more stretched wide. Alenda was stretched wide on the right now. So Umkwena is left alone. Yeah. In that sense. So he's a very key player, Umkhulis, especially tonight for me, Upuma Wake. That's where I would say Sundowns, they nearly lost the game because of no one was controlling there, and they capitalized on that Ilonduzane Alach, and that's why they've managed to. Now they've put more pressure. Like we just said, Mayema came to that position, but you could see hey man, I got that link. That link I go. So now they had to reshuffle again. It says to you, here's a question. Come up with an answer. So immediately Bonil.
Substitution.
Mamela, you know, I'm happy to see such things. And now as a coach, I learn. When you see there's a question, it needs an answer. Come with an answer. Yeah. And now, okay, but he's not doing what actually he needs to do. But I don't have to take him out. You know, I can take out somebody else, then push him forward, and then bring in Ulonduzana Uzungu. But Uzungu started very slow. The game, you know, he was supposed to be warm straight because that the tempo was very high for him. And Utemaganga not struggling because even when he's controlling the ball, you could see he was a bit sluggish. But he pick up the game when the game goes on.
All right, I need to ask you a last one before I let you go. So, you suspected that the referee was going to be full of shit in the second half. Yeah. You said it. At halftime, you were like, okay, some bullshit is going to happen here. And it happened. That referee, I said at the beginning of the game, I said, I trust this one because we see him. AFCON, CAF Champions League is a high-profile referee. But at the beginning of the second half, you could see, there's going to be a lot of stitted here. What did you make of his performance in the second half?
Mr. Gale, that's why I'm telling you the experience. I've played in a panel. I know when you play away, first half, it will be open. But second half, things will turn around. So if you don't score enough first half, definitely second half, things will happen. Look at yellow card, look at the penalty, 2 fouls, Nzagale right in front of the box. Umayema, Utemadali 1-2, Bam Dripper, Umailula, they pull him down, but still. So decision making started to go favor of Ahly in the second half, and I knew with second half things was gonna turn around, and this referee is gonna be biased. It's something that we have to live with it. That's why I always say, I hope our players, they will learn when you play away. I don't care away ego, but in the back of your mind, know that you play away, anything is possible. The referee can be good for 5 minutes. You can turn around because there was actions where you see it was not necessary for him to blow a whistle. You know, it was not really a foul that he can really say it's a foul. Let him start there. But because of now, they need to be behind the ball so that the Sundowns, when they play those long ball, everyone's behind the ball. So I was not happy. First half, good refereeing, the game was balanced. But second half, definitely I was not happy with the decision making.
All right, there you go. That's Mamelodi Sundowns. Ahly, great game of football. 2-2. This is the kind of, when Ahly and Sundowns are in the same group, you actually see a quarterfinal before a quarterfinal, a semi-final before a semi-final. Usually, you will see these dead rubber matches in the group stages until you get to the quarterfinal, semi-final, and final. Then you can see about, okay, like these are big teams. But here we get an opportunity to see twice Ahly and Sundowns. They were in Cairo they're going to be at Loftus and Pretoria when they come to South Africa. Again, it's like you're seeing a final again for the second time, because that's the tempo that they play knockout phase football. The pressure from the stands and the fans and the referees and everything else. But well done to Sundowns. They handled it very, very, very well. It is iDiskiTV, iDiskiTimes, World Sports Betting. Thank you for watching us.